we're going to apply the 3-step statutory analysis process to make sure that we're not missing anything, which is the worst feeling whenever you're doing research. So this should take care of that and help you feel confidence that you have found everything. So let's start by breaking our statute into elements. I've slashed it out here and then applied some colors just so I can differentiate it. What I noticed by seeing this word or, because conjunctions are really important in the law, is that the first and fourth element are really just alternatives of each other. And this becomes really apparent when you put it in list form, which I really like to do. So here are basically the 3 elements in list form. And each element then prompts a question. So for the first element there, what was the drug amount in our case? Well, it was 130 grams. Could he have obtained more? Perhaps. But the could be obtained more, let's just table that for a whole nother day. And let's just go with our 130 grams so we don't overcomplicate this. But anyway, we don't need additional research to figure out the drug amount in the case. We know that. It's 130 grams. Now, the second and third elements refer to this phrase bulk amount. That we don't know what means. So that we're going to need to do more research on. So now we've identified one phrase that we need help on, bulk amount. Oftentimes you'll have 2 or 3 or 4 that you'll need help on, but here we just have a pretty straightforward one. So you take what you did in step 1 into step 2. And step 2 is now where you read basically the whole statutory act or section or chapter, however it's organized. You read the whole section to make sure that your question isn't answered there, and just to know everything else you need to know about it. So I'll show you here in Lexis. You do that by clicking on Table of Contents, and that's the same for Westlaw. Table of Contents is your best friend. And so here I'll click on Table of Contents, and I'm going to view the whole thing just so you can see all of the sections. It always highlights where you're at. So we're at this section 22 here. And then all of these other sections before it that are part of 2925, these all apply as well. So you'd read these to look for anything else on point. And obviously that takes a lot of time, but for the video here, nothing appears to be totally on point, although there's some really interesting things here about like nitrous oxide and pure caffeine and all kinds of really fascinating things. So, but there's nothing on point here, but please take away, step 2 is basically all about clicking on Table of Contents and figuring out the greater context of where you're at. And then step 3 is where we need to then just pinpoint the definition section. And I'm sticking here at the Table of Contents because the definition section is usually at the beginning of the act or the section or the chapter, again, however it's organized. And so I'm going to click on the definition section here, and it will then define for us bulk amount under this sub D here. And then under sub D, we have 1, and then F applies to a Schedule II stimulant. So F says if you have anything over 120 grams, then you do have a bulk amount. And that's the final answer. Okay? So what we did is step 1, we broke the statute into elements. Then we did step 2, we took those elements into all of the catch lines, the rest of the sections of the act, and we did that by clicking on the Table of Contents. And then step 3 is where you pinpoint the definition section and look up your topic there. And they had it here for us. The bulk amount was defined. Sometimes it's what you're looking for will not be defined. In that case, you would turn to case law, which video 3.11 and all of chapter 4 is designed to help you with. So I'll see you back in the book.